Big deals. TNT Sports looks headed to Paramount as part of the $111 billion deal, forming an ESPN-ABC rival. What is the fallout for Netflix? The NFL is in full focus in the aftermath, and the NBA is hanging over the future of the NFL negotiation. Frank Isola is in for the vacationing John Meter-Perel. Frank, who already was a main event guest, is an ESPN stalwart as fill-in Frank on PTI. He's a Net studio analyst on Yes, plus his daily show with Brian Scalabrine every morning on Sirius XM's NBA radio. It's Everybody Loves Sports Media with Andrew Marchand and Frank Isola, presented by WSC Sports. Frank, I want to start with the first year of the NBA deals, NBC, Peacock, and Amazon Prime Video joining ESPN. How do you assess it kind of from your point of view in the media, an analyst, when you look at these new deals and what they meant for NBA fans?
There's a lot of games. The only difference now is you don't really get the feeling that there's a special game because there's so many of them. So the volume is incredible. Now, with the streaming services, for me, I'm a veteran of Peacock because I watch the Premier League on Peacock. So and I think that they've done a really good job. It's easily accessible. The Prime ones are, for me, a lot of times I'm working on those Friday nights when they've had the games earlier in the season. I just think if you're an NBA fan, there's so many games on now. It used to be you needed the league pass to watch all these games. But man, you tell me, it feels like look at yesterday. There were 3 national games on, including the Sunday night game that NBC has. It's a lot. The volume is a lot. I just think with a lot of these sports, you never really get whatever feels like that special regular season game.
I will say the NBC Sunday night basketball off of Sunday night football does feel a little bigger watching it the other night. They're at the games. You have Tirico there.
Yeah.
The problem is then the games start and it feels sort of like a similar game that you watched on Tuesday or Wednesday. It doesn't necessarily feel like that, the NFL feeling because only 17 games per team in the NFL. But I do feel that that's bigger. I think both Amazon and NBC have done a good job in terms of who they've hired for the most part. I'm not saying it's amazing or anything. There's some that are better. It's definitely, there's no, for lack of a better reference, Boogermobile, sorry, ESPN friends, where, ESPN had that Monday Night Football, disaster with that trio. So I think they've done a good job with that.
And I think, if you look at NBC's coverage of the All-Star game, they decided not to have Kevin Hart come out and try to roast all the players that were in the game. They didn't make it about, celebrating Shaq, Charles, Kenny, and Ernie because they were going away. And of course, they're still on TV. They actually made it about the players. And I thought what was interesting about their All-Star coverage, which it was really smart from their standpoint, that was what was considered halftime. Instead of showing a musical act, they did a feature story on Victor Wembanyama, which is a great way because you're getting kind of the casual fan might be watching the All-Star game. They're looking at this guy. I mean, it's incredible what he looks like to be that tall. He stands out even among NBA players. And then to do kind of like a feature story on him, the fact that he's from France, played for the French national team, saying that, now playing for a team that's had this great tradition of big men. I thought that they handled that really well. I think you're right. I think NBC, because they've done football, because they had the NBA before, they can kind of raise the stakes and do make it feel like a big game. But here's my only issue. All right, so Tuesday night, you'll have Detroit and Cleveland. That's a really good game. And they played a great game on Friday night. But the biggest issue with the NBA and these big games, and that the networks feel this way, a lot of times the big stars aren't playing. And that's the problem with the NBA regular season. All these teams try to manage their way through the 82 games, and then they want everybody healthy during the playoffs. There's just too many games. I did a game yesterday where Donovan Mitchell, I think he's missed out 3 games. Like, you want to see the best players play. Sunday Night Football, if the starting quarterback is relatively healthy, he's playing. The NBA, that's not always the case.
No, that's a great point. All right, to listen to the rest of the podcast, our twice weekly podcast, go to andrewmarchand.com, Tuesdays and Thursdays. On Thursday, we have Christian Oslian. He's one of the most important people in sports. He's emerging as it. He's YouTube's VP of subscription. We had him at the event last week. We'll have that for you. And it is tremendous. I can't recommend it higher enough. So tune in. I'll probably send it out Wednesday afternoon. Again, andrewmarchand.com to listen to the rest of the podcast.